Okay, on the count of 3, everyone say their favorite video game. 1, 2, Megaman X.
Okay. What's the best game console of all time? 1, 2,
Nintendo Virtual Boy.
Oh my god. Okay. Name the greatest lead character in gaming history. 1, 2.
Gex the Gecko.
What? Do we just become best friends?
Yep.
Do you guys want to go do some karate in the garage?
Yep. Sweet. I'll grab the nunchucks. Welcome back to another edition of the Karate in the Garage podcast. I'm your host, Mason Merrill, and with me today is our co-hosts, Weston Toth and Aaron Bowen. And today is May the 4th, so I shall say, May the 4th be with you. How's it going, Weston?
I am fine, young Mason.
Doing good, man.
How you doing, Aaron?
I'm doing swell. I can't do any Star Wars voices, or I totally would. Right
I was pretty
now.
impressed with
I
mine,
can do
honestly.
a Chewbacca.
Let's hear it.
You're not going to throw us some Vader?
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I can't. I'm not. Can't do it. It's too
All right.
impromptu. I can do Chewbacca, but that's it.
Well, it's all very relevant because on May the 4th, they dropped Rise of Skywalker on Disney+. So you can now watch the entire Star Wars series on Disney+, which is cool.
I know, dude. I'm so
I
excited.
love it. Okay, so just before we get into our game, I have to know, out of the newest 3, rate them from best to worst right now. Go.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, everybody said Mason number 1, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What?
Oh, I thought you meant the host.
No. Wow. Well, way to take us.
Did you just rate me as the least host?
Yes.
Pretty much.
All right, I'm gonna head to bed, guys. I'll catch
No.
you guys later.
Okay.
It was
Okay.
nice.
So
It's been a nice friendship. I'll see you later.
we're gonna go to Aaron. You know what I was talking about from the newest Star Wars.
Yes.
Which is your
I
favorite
gotcha.
to the least favorite?
So episode 7 was my favorite, and then probably episode 9, and then 8. I really, really hated 8, which is funny because I feel like that was the most critically well received by nerds and moviegoers alike. I did not care for it. There was too many plot holes and too many stupid things happening. But 9 was fine. 7 was a lot of fun. I liked it.
Okay, all right. So, Weston, where are you at with that?
Yeah, I'm the same. Except, I actually liked 9 the best, and then 7, and then 8. So
I agree with you, Weston. I liked 9 the best out of the 3 too, because the first one just felt like a remake of A New
absolutely.
Yeah.
Hope. Just the way
Yeah.
the plot came together, and then they killed Han Solo, and then the Emperor coming back.
Whoa.
And 9.
Spoilers.
Just super epic. If you haven't seen it by now, it's on Disney Plus. Go watch it.
Well, nobody's going to watch it now.
And
You
it's
just
not a
ruined the
spoiler
movie.
because he comes back in the first 3 seconds of the movie. Like the
No, Han
voiceover is
Solo
like,
dying.
"Hello, Kylo Ren. I'm here to eat you."
Wow. Okay. But yeah, so I don't know. I saw by the way, I've only seen 9 one time, so I'm gonna watch it again either tonight
too.
or tomorrow. But my feelings on it when I left the theater were nothing but good. I just really enjoyed it. I liked. By the way, I liked the other 2. I'm not in the hate camp, but I think 9 was just really good. It wrapped it up nicely. It was fun. It was super action packed. There was a couple parts of the movie that were just like, why does this need to be here? But overall, it was it was good. It had all the feels. It was fun.
Yeah, I watched 9 today while I was at work, and it the one thing I like about that movie is it moved so well.
Yeah.
That was my biggest complaint
Yeah,
about 8. I
agree.
like the story of 8, but it just felt so draggy. The whole movie was like, okay, we're getting to this part. Okay, we're getting to this part. And that
for
movie,
sure.
I was like, oh, it's over already. So I really liked 9 a lot.
Yeah, I'm in the Weston boat too. I only saw it once in the theater, and I do remember enjoying it, and I remember specific scenes. The end was ultra cheesy, but other than that, I really enjoyed it.
There was no better way to end it, though. Honestly, like with the whole thing with bringing the Emperor back, it just had that.
Well, I meant like the whole ending. Like, I'm Rey Skywalker. Like,
yeah. Oh, that part. Yeah, that was.
Spoilers. I apologize.
Wait, you
you're
didn't like that
the movie for people?
I didn't. I don't know. It's not that I didn't like it. It was just kind of a little. It was a little cheesy. It was a little obvious, but it's fine. It's fine.
It was a little weird to me too. Like I feel you there. Yeah.
Yeah. It was just a little weird.
It's like you're trying to force yourself into a family you're not even in, Ray. What are you doing?
Yeah. Just like, I have no family. My parents were nothing.
They all died, so now I'm a Skywalker. Woohoo!
Kylo Ren didn't lie to me when he said my parents were nobodies.
Yep. So, all right. Well, good times. We're going to talk a little more Star Wars a little bit later in the podcast. But today we are back with some Mega Man X, and yeah. So this is a good one. This is I played this game a lot. Have you played this game before, Weston?
Yeah, I have. And to be honest with you, I played this game in probably 1995 for the first time.
Yeah,
like
same
on the original NES. Like I remember this game vividly from my childhood after I started playing it.
Oh yeah, me too. This was one of the first
awesome,
games we bought for Super Nintendo. How about you, Weston?
You mean Aaron?
Sorry, Aaron.
That's fine. I know I'm the third ranked co-host on this show, so that's fine.
I'm like off today. I don't know what's going on with me.
There's only two co-hosts, but I'm still the third, so it's fine. I understand. Anyways, I really enjoyed it.
When was the first time you played this game, though?
Oh man, the first time I played this game. You know, and I think I mentioned it last week. I couldn't remember if I had played it or not, but after playing it, I do remember playing it when I was a kid. Frankly, I don't remember exactly when, but I remember specifically like some of the level design and things like that.
Okay, cool.
And it was quite a bit of fun. I really did enjoy it. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is cool because this is a game we all played as young when we were younger. So that's cool. Kind of looking back at it, all these years later. So basically, Mega Man X was commonly known as just X, was created by Dr. Thomas Light in an unknown number of years after the Mega Man series, and so it kind of took on its own. It kind of took on its own series of titles throughout the years, being the main protagonist. Sigma was the main enemy of all the games, and it went on for about 10 games total with some of the side game stuff. So this was the first installment that turned into a pretty big series over the years.
Yeah, I think this was like basically the most popular Mega Man series too, just because of the challenge level and everything that they really put into it. I think that was really reason that I was attracted to it in the first place myself.
Yeah, and the armor too. They Mega Man could really upgrade himself. The old Mega Man games were just kind of a side scroller where he would get additional abilities and things like that. But him being able to upgrade his armor, and throughout the years they changed that too. It wasn't just one armor set. It got crazy in some of the games, which is pretty cool. So
yeah, that's what I really liked about it as a kid too, and now is like I played the other Mega Man games before Mega Man X. Because, you go to Blockbuster Video, and there's a bunch of them, obviously, as they came out, and they would just keep them and just re-rent them out. I'd always look for this one because of the fact that after you beat a level, depending on which it was, you get, like, the boots, and then you'd get the different blasters on every boss takedown. And because of that, you felt like progressively stronger, and which I didn't even think about it back then as a kid, but I did now. Is I actually went in a weird order for the boss fights, and they were really like I started on one this time for the playthrough, and I couldn't beat the boss because I didn't have any upgrades, and I had to go back and do like another boss, and then come back to the other one later. So the progression, even though you could do it in any order, you actually really kind of had to do a couple before you got to some of them. So which was really fun, and they became easier. Even like you could come back to one, even though it was really hard at first. You got like the boots and a different blaster, and then and like an armor, like health, and you could beat the guy who took you down before, which was nice. So it was progressive.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Absolutely.
So yeah, it wasn't an open world game, but it had a feel of kind of an open world with that kind of where you could come in and out of the levels and things like that, and upgrades. And there were, throughout the levels, you had to be better, and you had to have certain armor to get like the certain health upgrade or the sub tank to store health in, and things like that. So it kind of had an open world feel to a side-scrolling game because it was kind of open like that. But basically, the story of the game was that there was a virus that caused Reploids to turn against humans that later discovered to be originated by Dr. Wily, and these Reploids were dubbed the Mavericks, and a force called the Maverick Hunters was formed to combat them. So the Maverick Hunters were led by Sigma, and until he became a Maverick himself, and then that started the Maverick War, which Megaman is combating against Sigma.
Right. Did you guys kind of understand that from the game, or was that like something that you would have, like, just from going through it? Did that explain anything that you just explained, the game? Because I didn't get that.
Well, as a kid, I didn't. But if you watch the intro to it, it kind of explains all that. There's like a big long before that you press start intro to it. So
yeah, I didn't watch that personally.
Yeah. So, and then in between, there's little dialogue here and there. But overall, the game kind of starts just straight out the gate, pretty epic as you're going through in the first level, and then towards the end of that level, you have the first ever appearance of another very popular character, which is Zero in the Mega Man X series.
Yeah,
I love Zero.
Yeah, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, I think like the only downfall of this game is that you couldn't play as Zero. Then I was always, as a kid, I was always like, oh, I wish I could be Zero. That'd be so awesome to have the sword and all that kind of stuff, But,
absolutely.
But yeah, Zero kind of ended up becoming more popular than Mega Man X in some ways, and just appearing in different video games like Marvel vs. Capcom and things like that. And then later in the series, you actually get to choose between Mega Man X and Zero to play as. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, you basically want to be, or after, at least when you get your upgrades, kind of look and feel like you're as cool as Zero.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah, exactly.
And so basically the game is you're trying to go through all the levels. There's a total of 8 bosses, which is Chill Penguin, Spark Mandrill, Armored Armadillo, Launch Octopus, Boomer Kuwanger, Sting Chameleon, and Storm Eagle, Flame Mammoth, and then obviously Sigma.
The fortresses, Sigma's Fortress, which there's a bunch of bosses in there.
Yeah, so and in Sigma's Fortress, you have to beat all of the bosses again after you've already beat them. So, but there was kind of, in this game, it was your classic side-scrolling game. You could go forward, back, all through the level if you wanted to. There was kind of no where you're moving on to the next section type thing. You could go anywhere in the level that you wanted to, which is kind of different for some of these side-scrollers. It was more of an open feel rather than just like a certain act and then you move on to the next one, so that was kind of cool. And the game itself was it was pretty difficult. I played they've ported this to different things and added a difficulty level and things like that, but I played the original where there was no difficulty level or anything, and it was it was a pretty difficult game. What'd you think, Weston?
Yeah, I definitely thought so as well too. The thing about it was, like I told you, I tried to play it out of order, or like in a weird order, but then I did what thankfully what we have now versus a kid, and I just kind of looked through like, hey, what's a natural progression for the game. I didn't like see like how do I beat this guy or this guy, but it's more just like which bosses or zones should I go in first, and like what's like the progression. And once I did that, it was I got through all the guys. But before that, like for instance, I went to Sting Chameleon first, and he was so like it was virtually impossible without getting hearts and getting the boomerang, because the boomerang you basically can because he sits up high with the boomerang weapon, you can basically get to him without trying to like jump around and dodge. Like he's actually pretty easy once you have that and you have like some hearts. But before that, if you're just level 1 or without the legs, like even being able to dash, it's impossible. Like not, I'm sure it's not possible. People have done it, but it was really I couldn't do it. Like I had to go back and so I did chilled penguin, like basically how you did it, like chilled penguin, mandrill, armadillo, octopus. Boomer.
Yeah, and it's pretty cool because once you got that ability, you could use it against the boss and it would have a special effect. Like for, say, you beat Chill Penguin and then you go to Spark Mandrill and you shoot ice at him and it freezes him in place. So literally I beat him. I don't even think I got hit. Nope. It was almost like broken at that point. It was almost like broken at that point because, you could really just take care of these bosses. And like, for instance, the Flame Mammoth, he has like obviously the elephant trunk. If you had the
Storm Eagle,
that would beat him. But if you had the boomerangs as well, you could cut the mammoth his nose off basically, and that would take basically his main ability away, which was shooting fire. So there's some extra little things like that too with the bosses that you could do as well, like cut the tentacles off of the octopus, launch octopus as well, and that would take basically all his abilities away. So it was cool. Once you kind of figured out the pattern, the progression, you could beat the bosses really easily to where the level was actually harder than the boss itself.
Yeah, and I completely agree, and that's what I was missing as a kid, and what, like, thankfully enough, I don't want to say I cheated, but I just was like, all right, like, which way do I do this? And once you had that, the bosses got just so much easier, and and they were still different. Like some of them were still difficult, but if you figured out the right weapon to use against each boss, it got like doable by far.
Yeah. Definitely. Yeah. So let's just kind of go through the list of things we always kind of review about the game. How did you feel about the gameplay, Aaron, itself?
I mean, the gameplay was fun. I mean, quite a bit. It's funny, actually, because, I mean, you guys were talking about how difficult it was, and it definitely was difficult. I actually thought when I first started playing it, I didn't get very far into it. I didn't have a lot of time to play it this week. When I first started playing it, though, I felt like, oh, this isn't too bad, because I beat the first, like, the intro level in like 3 tries or whatever, and then after that I was like, oh wow, no, this is actually super hard. But it was still really fun. The gameplay itself felt very tight, and once you kind of figure out like all your little tricks, like your little wall run and things like that, your little wall jump, and things like that, and you kind of figure out a couple little strategies about how to beat some of the enemies, because if you pop out of frame just far enough, they'll respawn immediately, so you got to make sure you're keeping up with the level and everything. But the gameplay itself was pretty phenomenal, all things considered. I mean, it's a Super Nintendo scrolling game. Sometimes they're super on point, super tight, and sometimes they're not, and this was very on point.
Yeah, it was super smooth is what I really like about it. There's no glitchy type thing. And one thing to note, I actually did play this with a Super Nintendo controller, and I played this on my phone and things through the years, and it definitely, and I hadn't played it since I was a kid with the Super Nintendo controller, and it actually made it a little bit harder for me. Like, I don't know if it's just using that controller or whatnot, but yeah, it made it a little bit harder to maneuver. So that took some getting used to. But once I got going on it, I mean, I played this game a couple nights and had a couple drinks and beat it pretty handily. But also, I had played it so much as a kid that I knew all the kind of what to do, how to beat each boss and things like that. So that made it a lot easier.
Yeah, for sure.
So the armor was he had a helmet, he had a breastplate, he had the shooter in the legs, and then if you knew about the super secret, there was a special. This game was developed by Capcom that also developed Street Fighter, so you could get a special move, which was actually the Hadouken that you could shoot out of your blaster, which was cool. So that was kind of like a super secret technique or whatever you could learn.
Nice. Yeah,
that's really cool. I didn't know you could do that. That's awesome.
Yeah, so that was kind of like a little Easter egg they threw in the game that was kind of neat. But Yeah, the levels themselves, I don't know how you feel about this, Weston, but the levels themselves were pretty unique. What'd you think?
Yeah, I think we've played quite a number of side scrollers from this generation of consoles and Super NES, and I thought the levels themselves were diverse. They they did this thing where in other games we've done where they try to make it semi-immersive, where like you'll walk behind something or in front of something, and then they'll have a faraway background. But they did that well. It was smooth, and it didn't get like annoying or in the way. And then also, I think there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 levels, and they were all different. Like from a factory with electricity to the snow level to like the desert. Like they were all individually unique, and they ran really well. So I thought the level design was nice.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, it was really cool. I like you were talking about. I really like the moving backgrounds at the same time as the platform. That's a nice little touch that not a lot of games did at that time. And I thought it was a really good mixture of being inside and outside, and like with the air being in the sky with the air level. That was probably a pretty difficult one to me because I always had trouble with jumping on the platforms, and jumping up to the next one and all that kind of stuff. So that one was probably the hardest one for me just to play itself, like back then and now. But yeah, as far as all the animation, I thought it was all drawn really well, and even in the newer versions of it, they've actually revamped the animation from the original. But I thought the original was pretty good itself. What'd you think, Aaron?
I mean, I thought overall it looked good. And the level design was fantastic. I think, and this is kind of a conversation we had last week too, as far as like the quality over quantity kind of situation. And, and you think about like when we played this when we were kids, figuring this game out, you're going through all these different levels, trying to figure out exactly which one's going to be the best to go through first. Because I don't have, Google to tell me in 14 seconds exactly what the best way to go about this is going to be. And so, a game that, nowadays we could probably beat in like 3 hours, turns into a lot longer game. And so you need to diversify it and make it interesting. And so, yeah, absolutely. The level design was fantastic. The art was great. I played, a newer version of it. As you said, I have the Super Nintendo Classic. And I was getting a little bit of lag on it, in some parts of the world, because it's just like, like a Raspberry emulator essentially put in a box. But yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, overall, I thought it looked very pretty. I thought, the levels were nice and diverse, which was fantastic. The music was a little bit different on every level, which was nice. I didn't get bored of the music, even though it was repetitive, like I do with some games. It was solid.
Yeah. I think like the music itself, I do definitely think it was diverse, but that kind of like retro old style music really did get to me after a while.
Yeah, same. I completely agree.
It was kind of just like a little bit annoying, so I turned it down and was listening to like other podcasts or music or whatever
Really?
towards the end of it. But as far as the sound effects and things like that was pretty cool. If you died, you'd turn into lasers and just flash off the screen, and it would make a little noise. When you teleport into the level, it would do the same. Shooting the X-Buster, things like that were pretty cool, just sound effects itself. But as far as the overarching music, it was getting to my head a little bit.
Yeah, I didn't hate it. Like, I'm completely with you, Mason. Like, it wasn't horrible. I thought it was like definitely on the mediocre side. But I had to turn it down after a while just because it was a little bit too repetitive for me, and it just got a little too, yeah, let's do this, guys. Almost just like like it was just kind of okay, like this is too much. And the sound effects were good, but like for instance, when you powered your weapon up and you were holding it, it would just go. Yeah. And I'm like, I wish it would just for my sake, or the whoever's playing it would just power up, and then he would just glow, like to know that you're like almost like Samus, like he would just glow to know that he has like a fully charged thing. Rather than just the sound effect just continuing, because I would hold it like for a while going into like a boss fight, and I'm like,
Same here.
Man, this noise is like I hear voices.
Yeah, anytime I was moving on the screen, I was holding to charge my buster. That maybe that's why the music itself was so annoying, because
maybe it was
the whole time hitting me in the ear, and it all just got a little overwhelming. But
this is exactly why I can't play old Final Fantasy games, because of that menu. Dink, 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 dink.
Yeah. So anyway, so we talked about the sound. The graphics themselves are pretty good. The gameplay was super smooth, super good. Story. Did you guys think it could have done more with story, or did you think like the cutscenes and the things themselves were okay? Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, as far as like, again, I didn't get very deep into it, so I can't, take my opinion with a grain of salt. I don't really feel like it necessarily needed to go super deep with the story. The Mega Man universe is like kind of established, and I understand that this is, a different, set in the future versus the original Mega Man, but I don't think it needed to like do a ton of backstory and things like that. I don't think it's necessarily like a story dependent game as much as it is focused more on the gameplay and the mechanics of it.
Okay. Yeah, how'd you feel about that, Weston?
Yeah, I always want more story, at least for what a lot of games gave it at this time. I don't think it did a terrible job. Like, it's not down on the low end where it just gives you nothing and you have to like read into it or read the backstory somewhere. But I was desiring more from the story, even if it just, instead of just going like, all right, this is this boss's level and you're here, go for it. I wish it was just like, just give me something about like a lead up or next, or like in between that you do things. Tell me what Sigma's doing and why we have to get to him. Like just give me a little bit more of a story, and I think I'd have been a little bit happier. It was mediocre to me. They could have done more. Yes. Was it like, did they do the bare minimum to just keep me like, okay, I think I kind of know what's happening here, and does it need more? I don't know, maybe not. Like, I was still playing it regardless of give me a story. Did I want more? Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think they could have placed that prelude. Like, I guess you guys said you both skipped. I just saw it because I turned on the game and was probably taking a drink or something. But the prelude where it had a big explanation of what was going on, I think they could have put that at the beginning after you press start to start the game. I think that would have been cool. That would have given you a little bit more perspective of what was going on, rather than just rushing you into the action. But I did like how the game started. Like, don't get me wrong, that's one of, when I think about starting of like older games like this, that one always pops into my mind, just because it's so epic in the beginning. Like, you're just straight into the action, which is really cool. But yeah, I think, like you said, Weston, in between there could have been a little more. Yeah. There was some dialogue at the end of each boss fight. And then there was some dialogue between the fights in Sigma's Fortress, and when you fight his lieutenant, there was some. Let's see, what was his name exactly? I forget what his lieutenant's name was, but there was some dialogue there.
Lieutenant Dan.
When he when he blows up Zero and he basically cuts his head off, and Zero's taken back and all that. But and then you beat that lieutenant. There was some dialogue there that was kind of cool, that kind of, there's like this rivalry going on between Zero and this lieutenant. And then you get to Sigma, and, he's basically like, I'm just trying to create this whole new world, basically trying to Thanos everything and take control because robots are better than anybody else, And then you fight him, and so first you fight his dog, and then you fight him himself, and then you blow up his body, and his head floats up into this big what they call Wolf Sigma machine thing, and then you fight him in the third phase. And that was the screenshot I sent you guys. But after that, there's like a huge long explanation of the ending that's like a few pages long. And then if you watch all the credits at the very end, there's a secret scene where Sigma actually comes back, and he's like, X, you have not beaten me, and it basically sets up the rest of the series going forward. So
that's pretty cool.
I think like you said, Weston, that in between to keep you hanging
Just
on
a little bit
would have been a little nicer.
Yeah,
it would have been nicer because there was a ton at the end. You know, it was just backloaded with story all of a sudden. You know, so and I don't know, I'm probably gonna go down a Mega Man rabbit hole. I'm definitely gonna pick up the Legacy Collection now for Switch or PS4.
Yeah,
because I want to play all the rest of these games now after playing this one. So,
dude, I kind of do too.
Yeah, I kind of do too.
Yeah.
Honestly, it gave me the bug where I was like, oh, I really enjoyed this one, and I'm like, oh, what's the? Because especially the ones that you can start playing as Zero, I'm like, I want to get
Megaman X.
Yeah, I just want to get more powerful, more add-ons, more guns.
Yeah, so it hit PlayStation at Megaman X4, and then rode that out through PlayStation 2 to 8, and 4 was like a game changer because I remember we had 4 and you could switch between 0 and X, and that was just like the world changed because you had a sword and like all this cool stuff.
Which is the one with the dog that you had?
That was just the original Mega Man.
No, but was there another one? Because I thought I played one where you had the dog, but you also got the upgrades too. Like that could have been the original.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I remember playing with you had the dog in Marvel vs. Capcom.
Maybe it was that. I don't know, but
he would follow you around and you'd fight with him. But that was just the original Mega Man. And then a lot of these characters got translated to Marvel vs. Capcom, the 4th Infinite or whatever. I don't know if you guys ever played that, but I still have it. And it got really trash reviews. I actually liked the game, but it was cool because Sigma was in it, and then the whole story is Sigma combines with Ultron, and so they become Ultron Sigma. And that was like a character you could play as.
Everyone's like, who's Sigma?
Yeah.
Ultron from Marvel?
Yeah. Well, it's Marvel versus Capcom. So.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's a
I was about to say that seems like
a
weird story. No wonder people hated it.
Yeah, but it was cool. The character itself was pretty cool because it's like Sigma talking, but also Ultron. It's like when Venom fuses with Eddie Brock, there's like a double voice and stuff.
Nice.
So I don't know, it was cool. It was a really cheesy story, but the game and the gameplay itself I liked. I don't know, but you could be Zero, you could be X, you could be Sigma. So like a lot of these characters were actually in that game, but it didn't do as well. But yeah, so it's cool. The legacy of Mega Man X in my head was much bigger than Mega Man, but I know a lot of people like the original Mega Man better itself.
Really? That's surprising.
Yeah, I don't know. I like this better. I think the only like of the original Mega Man that I played, and it wasn't the original one, it was just the original character, but on PlayStation 1 there was like that, I don't even remember the name of it, like that Mega Man like 3D RPG almost, where like you like went into town and stuff and like went and did dungeons. It was bananas.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You remember
was like
that?
a PlayStation game. What was that? That was like,
I couldn't tell you the name of it.
Yeah, I remember that. That was a trash game.
I know, but I loved it when I was a kid, though. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I gotta look that up. But and then they had like some Mega Man like RPG games on Game Boy Advance and things like that too. But those weren't based on X or anything. But anyway, yeah, and there hasn't been talk of a Mega Man 9, but I'd be down to see what they would do with Mega Man with a Mega Man 9 on like PS5 or something. I think that'd be cool.
Yeah, I wonder if it just has enough like backing where people want to see it like in a different format that's 3D and like with upgraded graphics. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because Mega Man, he was a pretty much iconic character through like Super Nintendo, and I mean, obviously he's in like Brawl now and all that, but like I mean he's definitely iconic, but I don't know if people like the younger generation really get Mega Man, you know?
Yeah, that's kind of like they made Sonic for like 30-year-olds, the movie Sonic, you know?
Yeah, we're like, oh my god, and everyone's like, who is this guy?
I don't know. I think my 4-year-old loves it, so, and I know yours does too, Aaron.
I was gonna say, I think I have watched it more times than Noah has, though. At this point,
yeah. But anyway, so I think where they really went wrong is the Mega Man 4. 5 and I think at 6 they went with more of like a graphic change. Mega Man 4 and 5 was like a drawn anime type game, and 5, 6, 7, and 8 like looking back, I played 7 or 8, and it was like bad PS2 graphics, and maybe that derailed the series itself.
Yeah.
But it was still a side scroller, which was weird. So I don't know. But anyway, I'm probably going to go down a rabbit hole and play some of those games because I just enjoyed this one that much. So the kind of our last thing we talk about is replayability. Would you guys play this again?
Yes.
Yeah, I would too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. I like to play it every few years, probably. So I'll probably play it again. And especially it's on my phone now. I forgot I had bought it a few years back when it was released on iOS. And so I downloaded it on my phone as well. So I'll probably play it again.
Yeah, I forgot I had it on Super Nintendo. I was like so excited when I found it on there.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, cool. So I think what are we going to rank this as with?
I mean,
any ideas?
Either heart tanks or blaster balls.
Yeah, I think blaster balls would be good. Pellets, I don't know what you call them. All right, so starting with Weston, how did you feel about this game?
I think I will rate this game 8.5 out of 10. I really enjoyed this game. If they had the sound and the story just a little bit better, it would have been a 10 out of 10. This game was really good, and for it to hold up till 2020 right now, and me still like I'm like as we were going through this, I'm like, oh man, I kind of want to go back and play that level or do like the boss fight with this gun and stuff like this. So I really enjoyed it. It was a great game. I'm really happy we played something this enjoyable.
Yeah, Aaron.
Yeah, I completely agree. I was gonna give it an 8 myself. I feel very similarly to Weston that it was a lot of fun. I didn't play it, much as a kid, so it was kind of fresh for me going into it now. And I just thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, I didn't get to spend as much time with it as I had wanted to. But it still looks solid. I mean, it's a, Super Nintendo game. I don't expect, incredible graphics, but it still looks solid. I didn't mind the music as much as you guys apparently did. I didn't really feel a need for a story, so I was okay with it not really being there. And I felt like the world was pretty well developed despite that. Gameplay phenomenal, and challenge level perfect. So yeah, it was great.
Cool. Yeah, and I'm going to give this a 9.5 out of 10 just because like this game has resonated in my mind over so many things. I'll be thinking about it. Like I'll be thinking about something and something will remind me of this game because I played it so much as a kid. And but yeah, I think it was just that close to being a perfect game. Just that one, the charge up sound. I think that was probably we got to the bottom of it today. That charge up sound was just a little too much, but you could turn it. That's what volume knobs are for, so you can turn it down and enjoy the rest of the game.
Very true.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't even know you could charge up that gun. I had no idea. Like I played that whole thing, no charges. Yeah.
I mean, honestly, the charge up was fine. It did a little extra damage, but like you would think that it would do a lot more, and it wasn't that much more. So I don't know. You're probably fine.
It's probably better off in the long run, I guess. Apparently not going insane from the noise that it made.
True.
Yeah, for sure. So I think I don't ever remember playing the second one. I played the third one, but I don't remember playing the second one. So I think I'll probably open up that one next. But
let's just do the next few games that we do. Let's just play all the Megaman X games for the next 8 weeks.
Sounds too fun.
No, I'm good.
We gotta have a bad one.
Yeah, which so yeah, leading. We'll just kind of close the book on that one. Another one in the books for us. A good one. We got granted some niceness this week, which was good. So really enjoyable stuff.
Yes.
Yeah, for real. Better than the some of the stuff you've been feeding us.
I like Simpsons Road Rage. Okay.
Oh God, I did actually pretty enjoy Power Stone. That was fun for me. I liked it.
Yeah, we turned the corner on that one.
Yeah,
okay.
Absolutely.
So while we're talking about it, do you guys have any ideas for next week?
Ooh.
Or shall we just all turn to the gauntlet?
Oh God.
Let's play Batman and Robin on the original PS1 by Probe Entertainment and Acclaim Entertainment.
All
right.
Wait,
no, it says unreleased. Never mind. Wait, hold on. Hold on, where is it?
It's
unreleased?
not unreleased because
Oh no, it was
terrible.
it was unreleased in Japan. I think it. Hold on a second.
Could we do like could we heel turn and do something like the animated series or like Batman Vengeance
or we
something
could do
like that?
Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast.
Let's do a really bad game. Let's play Barbie Super
No.
Sports.
Or we could play Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast.
I mean, I'm not opposed to that. So,
Sonic Adventure on Dreamcast. All right. Didn't we just do a Sonic game?
Did
not too
we?
long
yeah,
ago?
and that's the only.
Oh, we did. Okay, I'm
Sonic
sorry.
1.
Was
I
I
mean-
there?
No, that was
Okay.
One you missed,
Or
yeah.
okay,
Oh,
or,
okay.
I mean, we could do something very in a not a different style game, but in the similar vein is do a Marvel versus Capcom or a Soul Calibur.
Soul Calibur is a 10 out of 10. Like I don't even have to. I don't have to play it. I don't have to play
on
it. It's
PlayStation.
10.
Right.
Any one of them. Pick one. It's a 10 out of 10.
So
Doesn't
Marvel
make a
versus
difference.
Capcom it is.
I know. No, let's play Soul Calibur. That's fun. Oh my goodness. That's what like all me and Katie used to play when we were dating. Is just Soul Calibur, just beat the crap out of each other all day. It was
Well,
awesome.
which one? Like 2,
That's-
3.
so-
the
that's
one with
4.
Link,
We
or-
played Soul Calibur 4
Yeah, that's-
on the PlayStation 3.
wasn't that with Vader and Yoda?
Yes, I believe so. I'm trying
Yeah,
to
the
remember
one
now.
before that had like
Yeah.
Spawn, Link, and I can't
Mhm.
remember who.
Well,
I think it was somebody.
No,
from
well, yeah,
Tekken.
The one with
they're all
Link
different
was
depending
Soul
on if they
Calibur
were
2.
on PlayStation or Xbox.
Right.
Though, remember that
Yeah,
Right.
that's what I meant. Spawn was on Xbox.
Link was on
Link was
PlayStation.
on. Yeah,
No, Link was on.
Link
Link
was
was on
GameCube.
Oh, I'm
GameCube.
sorry. Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And then there was like a Tekken character on. But yeah, do you guys want to do like the original one, or we always do
I mean,
original games? So
I
I think we
have-
should do something.
I've never.
else,
By the way,
like
I've
maybe-
never played the
deeply-
original Soul Calibur, so that's why I said it.
Okay,
I've
only
alright,
played
well,
The original
so
Soul Calibur is really good. Soul Calibur 2 is like a game for the ages. Like I
Okay.
specifically remember just spamming the top button with Raphael, and he does a triple tap on people's faces and then just knocks them out of the water, and it's game over. It's such
Nice.
a cheese mechanic. It's the greatest. It's the greatest.
All right.
Very
But yeah,
nice.
whatever you guys
So
wanna do.
the original Soul
First one.
Calibur came out on Dreamcast, arcade, or Xbox 360.
1998.
Yeah, 1998. Also, you can get it on iOS. So
Cool.
Oh, nice.
Do you want to do that
Yeah.
one? The first one.
Yeah, we
Okay.
haven't
Yeah, let's
played
do
a
it.
fighting game in a while, so let's do it.
All right.
Well, we did
Sounds good to
literally
me.
last week. You just weren't there, but that's fine.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, but that
Entrapment.
that wasn't an actual fighting game. That was just okay. By the way, if
That's
there's no
true.
blocking in a fighting game, that's
Oh.
not a fighting game.
Oh my god, the
What was
blocking.
What was
Why'd
that
you have
game?
to say it?
Wait, hold up. What was that game we talked about last week, Aaron, with that had Cloud and Tifa in it, or in Sephiroth?
Aragaz?
Oh, should we do
What is
that
it
one?
called?
Oh, we might. Aragaz?
Yeah, I remember we played this one together too, Weston. You'll remember it when you
All right.
Yeah.
when you
Whatever.
play it.
I think we've all played it together. 'Cause I still have the original PlayStation disc of that game.
Okay, all right. So
Like
we could
it's
do.
on my shelf.
Also, Soul Edge was the first Soul Calibur game, and it was for PlayStation. So, but
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
okay, so we'll do either that one or Aragaz. So, which one do you want to do?
All right, you guys decide. I don't really
I'd
care.
rather do Soul Edge because it's not a terrible game.
Okay, all right, that's cool. We'll stick with that, and maybe we'll do Aragaz down the line because I do want to play that game again. I think
Yeah,
it'll be fun.
absolutely.
Yeah,
I mean,
cool.
it's fun, but it is terrible, all things considered. But it is a lot of fun.
Yeah, cool. And I also want to do Batman Vengeance at some point because I've been watching a lot of Batman animated series recently. So
Nice.
Been,
Are there any Beyblade video games? We should do that.
there is. I think me and Weston played it, and it was terrible.
Yeah, we probably did. Because, it's Beyblade.
Oh, dude. So McDonald's has brought back like Beyblade toys, and
Yes.
my son got a Happy Meal the other day, and he got a Beyblade. He's like, "Daddy, look at this." I'm like, "Oh man, you don't even know." So
Bro, I know.
So I pulled out the legendary Beyblade that I have.
The one he got from Japan.
The 2 gold rings. Yeah.
The one that would actually like break apart the other Beyblades, and you would just be like, idiot.
Yeah. You could actually murder somebody with it. No big deal.
Yeah, no, me and Weston went to a tournament as a kid. That's how much we were into it. And
Mason won.
Yeah, I won.
Because he had the Japanese golden Beyblade. He had shipped over from Japan.
And the only reason Weston didn't make it to the final was that girl who had the remote control one.
It was like 10 pounds. It was a 10-pounder. Dude, okay.
It was huge.
I was
like, I don't even know if I can beat that one. And of course I wrecked it.
Yeah,
but
you know. No lie. I had crafted, I had fused 2 together that you not even supposed to put together. I was like, oh, I got this. Like, Mason had the one that was basically unbeatable, but I would have at least got the finals. But this little girl had the audacity to come in a tournament that's supposed to be, nationally recognized. This little 8-year-old girl, and come in with the 10-pound electronic one that her dad pulled for her. Like, come on.
My God.
Yeah, but the best part about
I make fun of you guys so bad. But
the best part of
Yu-Gi-Oh so much when I was a kid, so I can't.
The best part about it though was she had the that one she did have was all plastic, and so I had 2 metal rings. So when
you ripped it out.
Metal hits plastic really hard, it like cracked it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So anyway.
Did she cry? Did you make that little girl cry?
Well, she was my age at that point, so let's be.
I don't care.
Let's be real.
Hey!
So it's not.
You mess with the Dragoon, you get smashed.
Yeah. I mean, I made kids cry when I played Yu-Gi-Oh. It was awesome.
But you were mean.
Really.
Yeah, I had the Drasil Fortress bottom, so I was. Yeah. I had the Drasil Fortress bottom, so I was all tank on bottom and just ripped up top.
Dude, I'm about to literally binge watch Beyblade when we can.
Yeah, I still have that videotape.
I'm so glad I have
won,
Crunchyroll.
I won a videotape at the end of it. That's all I got.
Dude, we watched that videotape so many times.
Yeah, I still have it, bro. It's still in my box of all the things.
Is it called Mason's Box of Treasures?
Pretty much, yeah. My 4-year-old thinks it's like the coolest thing. It's like the forbidden fruit because I'll pull out cool things from it occasionally, and he's like, "What? Where did this come from? These unknown toys?" Yeah, it's pretty.
All right, you guys ready for?
I gave him
trivia,
all my
though?
Digimon toys recently. Go ahead. Sorry.
I said, are you ready for some trivia though?
We got a couple more items to talk about before we get to some trivia. Yeah,
we're
so
45 minutes deep.
It's all good. We got time.
All right.
So just a quick note on the VR game Vader Immortal announced today, since it is May the 4th, that it's coming to PSVR, which I'm pretty excited about because I have a VR. And it's basically just it's like a 6-hour story of Darth Vader, and you can wave around the lightsaber and stuff and fight things. So pretty excited about that. It's finally getting ported to PSVR. It came out last year on Oculus.
Oh, nice.
Yep. And then the other news item was that all of the gaming conferences are being replaced with what they're calling Summer Game Fest. So did you see that, Weston?
No, I didn't. So why don't you tell us about it?
Okay, so it's basically going to be a digital festival that goes through May through August, where they're just going to be dropping the news they would have dropped in things like South by Southwest, E3, or Gamescom. And so they're going to be putting out a lot of content through those that all of the game developers are teaming up to do. Like Steam is doing their own thing through June 9th and 14th, and that's a part of it. And Sony's going to have some stuff, and they're going to be putting it through Facebook and Mixer and Twitch and Twitter and all those kind of stuff. So there's going to be a lot of news dropping through those months, which is going to be cool in a
that's really
different kind of stay-at-home way.
That's awesome, though.
I'm so excited about this because obviously, games have to go on, and there's a lot of really good games slated or in development right now to come out. So since we're not having South by Southwest or E3 or Gamescom, obviously Gamescom's massive. The fact that they're doing something that will be make because remember game announcements used to be super big, and once they got announced, everyone was just so hyped up. Like, I like that feeling of something getting announced and it being like a big deal, and then being like, oh, it's coming out in 2 months or into the summer, like, and then have like a firm release date.
Yeah. We don't get that anymore very often, but it's nice when we do.
No.
Yeah, for sure. So, that'll be cool. That'll be a cool way to drop all the new titles that are going to be coming out and maybe preview some other stuff. You know, basically all the companies do this anyway. Like Sony has their state of play or whatever, and then Nintendo has their Nintendo Direct that they do occasionally. But it's going to be kind of everybody coming together to really announce some cool things. Hopefully we get some cool games coming out of this and good announcements and a look at PS5 finally. I hope so. They got to show it at some point, you know.
Yeah, for real. We need to see what that thing looks like. Did they show the One X? Haven't they already?
Yeah, didn't they show that
like
last year?
Tower cylinder, weird looking thing.
Yeah, it's funny. And there's been some concepts of PS5, but nothing firmly announced other than just the controller itself.
Yeah, that'll be cool.
Yep. So anyway, that's all I got. That was kind of the bigger news that came out. I just wanted to bring out that Vader Immortal thing, but the Summer Game Fest is really the bigger kind of thing that dropped at the 1st of May. That's going to be happening. So we'll be looking out for that, and throughout the podcast, we'll be keeping everybody up to date on what's been dropping throughout that. It'll be cool to have we've kind of had a dark period of news that's nothing really crazy. So it'll be cool to have some more talking points and things to break down going forward.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yep, cool. All right, well, it's that time again, man. The trivia has returned, and this is the finals right now. All for all the money.
Yeah, sorry for jumping the gun a little earlier, but I'm just this is gonna be for the season 1 cup right here.
Yeah, I mean, I've already beat both of you, but I'll beat Aaron again. It's all right.
Can I have a cup? Is there a real cup?
Yeah, it's gonna be filled with any sort of good liquid you want.
Yep.
Nice.
And if you
see that beer you're drinking, you get to keep it. If
but if not, you have to pour it out. This this is the grand championship. I'm the loser, and now I'm your announcer, which is even better.
You shouldn't be though, because I think I gypped you out of a couple. I shouldn't say gypped; it's a racist term. I kerfuffled you out of a few points last week. I think with missed timing on the dings.
It was close. I think Mason beat me fair and square, and so did you. So, but like I said before, I propose we're going to change the format for season 2 and for the cup. So we're going to change it so it's basically just based on straight knowledge rather than like the beeps and if we get them right or not, and then how we're doing it now. So I think we're going to change the format. But
okay,
agreed.
For this game, the rules will stay exactly the same. Players know the rules. I will read the question. After the question is read and I start reading multiple choice, anyone can ding in. Whoever does first will be called on. If they get the answer correct, they get a point. If they get it wrong, the second player can choose to have the rest of the answers read and the question reread. And then if that person gets it right, he gets the answer. If he gets it wrong, that question is null and void. Understand?
All right. Sounds good to me.
I have
cue the music.
I like it when you talk all authoritative. It's nice.
Yeah. So I have 10 questions. Since we have been on, we play PlayStation, and you guys both have a lot of knowledge of PlayStation games because of your gaming background. This is a PlayStation-themed set of questions.
All right, cool.
Let's do this thing.
Okay. You guys ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Ready as ever.
All right. The PlayStation was first designed as a companion to this gaming console. A. Sega Genesis. B. Super Nintendo. C. Sega Saturn. D.
Ding.
Aaron.
Sega Saturn.
That is incorrect.
All right, give me that D.
D. Nintendo 64.
Oh, geez. As a companion or like a competitor?
As a companion to this gaming console.
Really? All right. Can you reread the
A.
answers?
Sega Genesis. B. Super Nintendo. C. Sega Saturn. D. Nintendo 64.
Genesis?
That is incorrect. Sony
Whoa,
originally
okay.
designed the PlayStation as a CD-ROM companion to the Super Nintendo. The new system
Really?
would play both
Really?
disc and standard SNES cartridges.
Wow, interesting.
Yeah.
No
Yeah, I didn't realize it was for the Super Nintendo. I thought it was. Yeah, Sega.
I would have
Anyway.
guessed Sega Saturn too. But yeah, it is the Super Nintendo, and that's why cool questions like this exist. Okay,
All right. Nix that question.
0-0.
Right.
Question 2. When did PlayStation hit store shelves in Japan? A. 1990. B. 1994. C. 1995. D. 1992.
Ding.
Mason.
1994.
That is correct. Shoppers lined up when the first
Yeah.
PlayStation released in Japan on December 3rd, 1994.
I knew I should have dug in earlier.
Yeah, that was a hard one. I put because by the way, this isn't on the question, but there's another question: is when did, or maybe you could get this? When did PlayStation originally hit U.S. stores?
97.
95.
96. 95? Okay.
Yep.
Really?
It was just
Wow,
1 year
that is
later.
That late. Early.
Yep.
Yeah.
Interesting.
It's 1 year apart.
Cool.
Okay. Mason 1, Aaron 0. Next question. What was the best-selling game of all time on the PlayStation 1? A. Grand Theft Auto. B. Final Fantasy VII. C. Gran Turismo. D. Metal Gear Solid.
Ding.
Ding.
Mason.
Metal Gear Solid.
That is incorrect.
Oh,
Gran Turismo.
That is correct.
yeah, that was my.
Players bought more than 10.85 million copies of Gran Turismo, making it the best-selling game for the PlayStation 1 console.
I had it, so I should have known that.
Yeah. I believe that is also the reason that they made Gran Turismo 2 a launch title for the PlayStation 2, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
That would make sense.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, 1-1. Fourth question. How many PlayStation 2 consoles did Sony ultimately sell? A. 150 million. B. 100 million. C. 250 million. D. 50 million.
Ding.
Ding.
Mason.
250.
That is incorrect. Aaron.
Can you give it was 100, 150, and 50? Were the other three?
150, 100, 250, 50.
150.
That is correct. By the time the PlayStation 2 was discontinued in January 2013, Sony had sold more than 150 million units. Very nice.
Wow. And that was the highest selling game console of all time. We've talked about that before. But
Yeah, very, very nice.
What was the last game that was made for the PlayStation 2?
I don't know.
FIFA.
Oh.
That was so anticlimactic. it's like
Crap
Madden
game.
2019.
Yeah.
2013. Okay. So we have
No, they still make them. It was like a few years ago. They still make the FIFA. Well, I don't know if they do anymore, but up until a few years ago, they were still making FIFA games for the PlayStation 2 because it was still such a big console in other countries.
Oh, yeah, I can see
okay.
that. I can see that.
Makes sense.
Okay, so we are 1-2. Aaron's leading. Next question. What was the best-selling game of all time on the PlayStation 2? Kingdom Hearts 2. Final Fantasy X. I'm sorry. A. Kingdom Hearts 2. B. Final Fantasy X. C. Gran Turismo 4. D. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas.
Ding.
D.
That was Aaron.
San Andreas.
That is correct. Really?
I just said D. I was like, ding.
Released in October 2004, Grand Theft Auto San Andreas sold more than 18 million units to become the top-selling PS2 game. That is so high. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah,
All right, Aaron 3, Mason 1. All right, Mason, we gotta make this interesting.
Step it up.
Oh, next
All right.
question.
Here we go.
What was the first game that required you to use the Dual Shock controller? A. Siphon Filter. B. Metal Gear Solid. C. Spyro the Dragon. D. Ape Escape.
Ding.
Mason.
Metal Gear.
That is incorrect.
God,
Siphon filter.
That is also incorrect.
All right.
Really? Oh
It was
man.
Spyro, wasn't
Nope.
Is
What?
Ape Escape?
It's Ape Escape.
it? What?
Dang, man.
What is
You know, it's
going
I don't remember playing Ape Escape for anything about the N64.
Yeah, it said
Interesting.
the Ape Escape required the use of the analog sticks for the nets, to catch the monkeys.
yeah, that's right.
Because you had to
yeah.
use one of them to control the character, and then the other one to swing the net.
Yeah, the one
Yeah.
swung. Yeah, that's
All
right.
right, 1-3. Aaron leads. The next question: what is the name of fruit collected by Crash Bandicoot? A. Mango fruit. B. Guava fruit. C. Apple fruit. D. Wumpa fruit.
Ding. Apples.
Did you ding? Did Aaron ding?
I did ding.
Okay.
Yeah. Did you not
No,
hear me
sorry.
ding? I dung. Apples.
Incorrect.
Bitch.
A. Mango.
That is incorrect. The answer is D. Wumpa fruit. Crash collects Wumpa
got-
That's
fruit.
not a real fruit. What is this, Willy
Good
Wonka?
point. It's probably the point.
Snozberries
Yeah.
over here?
Okay,
Yeah.
and also just to make if the first person gets it wrong, you can always have the question reread. By the way,
Okay.
just letting everyone know if you're unsure, then you should probably just get it reread. There is 1, 2. I have 3 questions left. If Mason,
It's 1 to 3.
it's 1 to 3, so we're gonna have to. Let's see what this is,
I got to get them all basically to win.
or at least yeah, basically. Okay, so question: what is the name of the camera that was released for the PlayStation 2? A. Kinect. B. iStation. C. PlayStation Camera. D. iToy.
D. iToy. Or ding.
Hey, you can't just yell out. You have to ding. I have to answer because if you both do it at the same time, I don't know who it is. But yes, you dinged. It is D. iToy. You are correct.
Oh, Lord.
Sorry. I did it backwards. I said the answer and then I did.
Okay, it is 2-3. Next question. The main character in Final Fantasy VII Cloud uses which weapon? A.
Ding.
Ding, ding,
Buster
ding.
Sword.
You are correct.
Mother trucker.
It's back. All right, let's do
I had
this.
to unmute my mic.
By the way, I was trying to throw you guys off because I said A. Buster Star, and then the next one was, and I was hoping someone was going to say A. Buster Star, but you already got it. Buster
I've
Star.
literally been playing Final Fantasy VII, so there's no
I
way
mean,
I wouldn't get that. And Aaron loves that.
I know
game.
that's why. I said,
Yeah, Final Fantasy VII is the reason I have no life.
that's what I'm saying. Is okay. So, for the game, what is the name of the hero in God of War? A.
Ding.
Ding. Ah,
Aaron.
Kratos.
And he wins by 1
Ah.
point. Kratos is correct. Oh man, that was close.
good
That
job,
was
Aaron.
clutch. That
Yeah,
was clutch. That was a good game.
I was coming back, but man, I just couldn't pull
I
it
know.
out. Yeah.
I know.
Oh,
I
well.
knew I had to jump on that one.
Do you want to play that we win by more than one or?
Nah, it's all good. Aaron got
All
it.
right.
It's cool.
Okay, Aaron is
win
the
'em all.
season 1 winner. Congratulations, Aaron.
Oh my god. I just got here and already I'm winning everything.
Do you want to
Feels
give a speech or
legendary.
something?
I mean,
like,
technically, honestly, hey, you had a good win because you actually went
give a
to the
speech.
losers bracket and then came back and beat me and Aaron, and Mason. So that's pretty legit. Good for you.
Look, I am a humble man. I am a handsome man. I'm not a very smart man.
Are you a
but
man?
I am a winner. And winners win and losers lose. And this time
I'd like to thank my
I'm
mom.
winning.
Okay. I'm gonna stop
so
you there.
thank you.
You're losing at the speech, but you have in fact won this game and won the title of trivia champion.
You just made it
Oh,
weird,
man.
but all right, it's all right.
I was just trying to make it as awkward as humanly possible because it's fun.
Good job, Aaron. That was actually, like I said, you went to the losers bracket and then you beat me and you beat Mason, so you deserve the victory.
Good job, man.
Thank
Good
you
job.
very much. Thank you, guys.
Cool.
All right.
I
Well,
heard like 2 claps. That was nice.
I gave you like 10.
My lights just flickered on and off.
All right.
Well, I think it is. That's it for this week. I think we are ready to move on. You know, I'm ready for a new
12:30 at night.
Well, for you. Yeah, you're officially in the future. We're still on May the 4th. You're on May the 5th.
Yeah, it's really bad here, you guys.
Really? There's like killer bees.
Things got weird, guys.
Still.
All of a sudden.
Yeah.
I don't know if you should come to the future.
There are furries everywhere outside my house right now. It's terrifying.
All right, well, I'm gonna let you go take care of that, and I'm gonna go home and go to bed. So
gonna get my gun. Yeah, you're not even at your house. Go to bed.
Oh man. All right, guys. Well, Soul Edge next week for the PlayStation, and we'll see you then.
Later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Aaron's not good at anything.
If you'd like to send us a message, you can email us at kitgpodcast@gmail.com or tweet us at kitgpodcast on Twitter.